All right, welcome to the first episode here of the Self Help Podcast. I'm Josh Jack, and the other host is B Lion.
Hey,
And yeah, so we hope the listeners, we hope we have listeners first of all, and this is about self help, obviously. So pretty much, it's about helping yourself, I guess you could
yes.
say. And we struggled with weight loss for the last couple years. B Lion looked at old pictures of him. He was a skateboarder. He still is, but he's a pretty likey guy. He wasn't, uh, big at all. Then he gained some weight. And me, I was skinny all throughout high school. And then after high school, I just started eating more, I guess, out of stress and loneliness. And what would you say is what would you say is like the right and wrong things to do as far as self help?
So, we're talking about self-help, or we're talking about weight specifically?
Yeah, I guess more of weight. Yeah.
Sure. So, for me, personally, I actually, I'm actually glad you brought up this whole thing because I'm, as much as I like to think that I'm putting myself out there, I do have a lot of secrets. And one of the things that I've had an issue with for probably years and years is I've used food like a drug to basically avoid the things that I don't want to feel. And as someone who's not like that, who doesn't use food in that way, they might be baffled and think, nah, you're just a fat guy trying to make excuses for why you eat food. But I will tell you, and anybody listening, that it's more than that. Basically, I don't even know what I'm running from exactly, but what I do know is that when I eat certain foods, it takes my mind out of that place of worrying. And I know that it's screwing up my body and I'm scared. But what I do know is that that temporary relief I've decided is worth it. And when I watch people on that show, My 600-Pound Life, it's I'm not 600 pounds. Luckily, I'm not even 300 pounds. But still, I'm like, I get it. I get how people get there. And being fat is kind of funny. It's a funny thing. But then you see these comedians like Ralphie May die at, I'm guessing, somewhere between 40 and 50. And it's like, shit, this guy made jokes all the time. But the sad reality, and the reality is, we also know a guy in the Philadelphia comedy scene who died fairly young. This stuff can kill you, and it's scary as hell. I don't mean to make this too alarmist, but I just want to be honest about, where I am with this stuff.
Yeah. Now, I want to talk about a moment that I had where I realized I was eating not only out of control, but I was doing it like I said, like out of loneliness or out of boredom. There was one time I remember I was making myself a sandwich, and I wasn't even hungry. I was just bored and wanted to make myself a sandwich. And I think I put it back in the refrigerator. This is like many years ago, and I think I ended up eating it. And I just realized, like, man, like this is messed up. Like I'm bored. I'm just if I had something to do, or I had more of a life, or had life at all, I probably would have been eating a sandwich. Like, do you have any moments like that where, like, maybe you were binge eating, or you felt like crap afterwards, and you just thought to yourself, like what? Why am I doing this to myself? Or you realize what you
Oh
were
yeah,
doing?
definitely. Um, I'm at a point right now where, and it's crazy to talk about this. I'm at a point now where I encounter those situations. Damn, this is hard to talk about. I encounter those situations not only multiple times a week, but sometimes literally every night I find myself, I'm like, I can't sleep. I'm going to go in the kitchen and I'm going to eat something that I know I don't need, but I'm just going to do it. And I do, and I hate myself for it, but it doesn't stop. And that is a scary place to be in. And actually, and this has kind of been an issue in my family. I'm not sure if that's the case in your situation, but I've actually gone to like 12-step groups about eating.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, like, you got in a circle and said, like, hi, my name's Brian, and they said, hi, Brian, and you pretty much, just would talk about, like, what you're talking about now, and they gave you a ribbon and a piece of cake?
Yeah. Yeah, your introductory piece of cake.
Yeah.
No, yes to everything except the cake, but yeah.
And they gave you a
I
ribbon?
know you're making a joke there, but for real, yeah. I would get in a group and say, I have an issue. It's gotten to the level of, like drug abuse. Crazy.
Yeah, so I guess, another thing that helps with that is another podcast we were just talking about this is hobbies. Hobbies, keep you, do you watch the show Shameless?
No, but I've seen a few episodes, but I don't watch it regularly.
Well, in this season, there's this kid, and he's like an alcoholic, and he's trying to get off alcohol, and he meets this guy at a 12-step, and the guy's pretty much trying to get him to fix cars and get him to do all this stuff, just to keep his mind off booze, like running and everything, and it's kind of like that. It's like the more you have a life, so it's easier to not binge eat and stuff like that. But as far as health goes, like, I'm not getting a lot of sleep. I'm only getting about 3 or 4 hours of sleep at night because of this job, and I just feel like crap.
Yeah. Is that because of you have to work early in the morning and you can't sleep until late?
Yeah, I have to get up really early, and it's a long commute, and then the time I get home, I try to take a nap, but I'm too busy doing podcasts.
Oh, shit. Oh, man.
Well, it's not your fault. Listen, I'm trying to just keep busy. Okay, so do you have anything else to wrap this up with as far as self-help goes, and anything else?
So it's interesting because we kind of have the topic of self-help as well as this overeating thing. I don't know what else to say at the moment, but I really don't know what else to say at the moment, to be honest.
Well, just to wrap this up, we just want to say, all the listeners out there, if you have any topics, any suggestions, any questions, we're not the two guys to help you get in shape or anything, but we will certainly do our best to keep you interested and talk more about this topic that's this disease that's ruining lives.
That's right.
All right, so see you guys on the next one.
All right.